Marvel fans, Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania is here, the first entry into Marvel's Phase 5, and it has a particularly confusing and yet intriguing ending and post-credit scenes. And so that's what we're going to be breaking down in this video. We're going to talk about this ending, whether or not Kang the Conqueror is actually dead, and then we're going to talk about the two post-credit scenes. What does that actually mean for the next few years of Marvel content as we lead into the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars? Smash a like on this gosh dang video and let's get into it. So first up, what is the deal with the ending of Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania? Was Kang actually defeated? Was he destroyed? Or did Scott just make him into even more of a threat? Well, first up, let's just take you through what actually goes down in the movie. Of course, through most of the film, the characters are trapped in the quantum realm. Now, initially, we learn the story of Janet and Kang and how they meet each other, both stranded in the quantum realm, and they form some kind of a relationship. Now, the thing they are trying to do is fix the multiversal battery or the multiversal engine that Kang the Conqueror has, and this would allow him to escape the quantum realm and go anywhere and anywhen in the multiverse. But you see, I also think that this item, this multiversal engine, allows Kang to actually change the past. As time travel currently works in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you can't actually change the past. When you go back and do so, you instead create a branch timeline, a new timeline that splits off from its original. But several times in the movie, Kang says things that lead me to believe that this thing actually would allow him to change the past in a way that was not accessible to the Avengers in Avengers Endgame. He talks about actually changing the past, giving actual time back. Most notably, this comes up when he's talking to Janet. He says, I can change your past. I can give you that time back. And when she opens that door, you'll be there. And on top of that, this item closely visually resembles the Forever Crystal from the 1999 Marvel Comics event Avengers Forever. And that story has this item known as the Forever Crystal, which is literally described by Immortus as a device that would allow him to actually change the past. And it is the fact that this engine would allow him to go anywhere and everywhere and anytime and allow him to actually change time that makes me think it is tapping into the powers of the beyond. And without getting way too nerdy and losing a bunch of people, let me just say that you have a universe, you have then the multiverse, and then you have everything beyond the multiverse, which is known as the Beyondverse. And in Marvel Comics, there are characters that come from that place. They come from the Beyondverse, and there are also objects that have the power of the Beyondverse, like cosmic cubes or like the Molecule Man. And the reason that's all important and the reason it's even on my mind at all is due to multiple leaks that are indicating that this guy we met, this Kang the Conqueror variant, is going to show up again as the Beyonder. And you see, the whole reason that I just went on that big tangent about this Forever Crystal multiversal engine is because at the end of the film, we see Scott and Hope hit Kang, trapping him inside that crystal or sending him through that crystal. This is very similar to what happens with Darren Cross at the end of the first Ant-Man movie, where he is sucked into the quantum realm. And the big question that we are all asking ourselves after this ending is this variant of Kang the Conqueror actually dead? And I don't think that he is. I think he was sucked inside that multiversal battery, that Forever Crystal, and he arrives in the Beyondverse. This is a rumor coming from Paul from Heavy Spoilers and My Time to Shine Hello, which indicate that this guy's going to return with the powers of the Beyonder and be the big bad of the next two Avengers films. And so what I think happens to Kang at the end of the movie is that he is sucked into the Beyondverse, and his technology, mostly his suit, is able to help him survive in that environment. And perhaps over time, like maybe even eons for Kang, but wouldn't be that long for people perhaps in the 616 universe, he integrates himself with that power. And then using that power, he is able to re-enter the actual multiverse and begin enacting his revenge on the Council of Kangs, on the 616 universe, and basically just reshaping the entire multiverse in his image. But what about the post-credit scenes? What's the deal with Kang? And if that is true, and we won't see this Kang the Conqueror variant for some time, how are the Avengers and all of the characters in the MCU going to continuously fight against different Kang variants? Well, in the first post-credit scene, you see the Council of Kangs, okay? And you see that there's a leader, Immortus. There's the Scarlet Centurion, who's missing all scarlet, might just be called the Centurion, maybe. And then you've got Ramatut. These are all classic variants of Kang from Marvel Comics. And it's implied both by dialogue from Kang in the actual movie and in dialogue from the Council of Kangs that they are the ones that exiled that variant of Kang. And they talk about how that exile has been killed and that they're sure that that exile has been killed. But they're also really concerned about the people that killed him and the fact that people have begun touching the multiverse. And they have gathered the entire Council of Kangs in order to stop the people that are touching the multiverse, because those people threaten everything that the Council of Kangs has built. And we see this shot of various sacred timeline looking things all being interwoven together. And so it seems like this Council of Kangs, again, being led by those three variants of Kang, are the ones that have created this sort of, I guess, homeostasis thing where all of the different universes can weave together, but they don't actually cross over and cause all of these crazy incursions. And yet, during the course of the film, we discover that the Kang the Conqueror variant believes that this meddling that all of the different Kang variants are doing is going to lead to the end of the multiverse, that this is just going to lead to endless incursions and the entire multiverse collapsing. So at its most basic level, what this is going to set up is various variants of Kang attacking different groups of Avengers or heroes throughout the next couple of years of Marvel movies. And that takes us into the end credits scene and the whole idea of Loki Season 2. Okay, so in this scene, we see a variant of Kang known as Victor Timely. This was something we've covered in videos over the past couple of weeks because a lot of rumors came out that this was going to happen in Loki Season 2. And you've got this Victor Timely character talking about time, talking about controlling time, and you've got Mobius and you've got Loki in the audience. Mobius is like, I thought you said he was really scary. Loki says he is. And this sets up the whole idea of Season 2 of Loki, which will see Tom Hiddleston and Mobius going around the multiverse trying to stop variants of Kang from doing what they want to do as far as meddling with time. And according to Grace Randolph, there are going to be a ton of Kang variants making a whole bunch of problems in Loki Season 2, but she also hinted at other variants of other characters. And I think you will see other variants of Loki, aka Sylvie, and there's this big rumor that you're going to eventually realize that the version of the TVA in Loki Season 2 is actually controlled by a very old variant of Sylvie, the Sylvie that kills He Who Remains in Loki Season 1. And all of this is getting really timey-wimey, and I know it could get really confusing, but I think the main thing that you have to take away as a fan is that they are setting up a bunch of different folks that can seemingly exist outside of the various time and universes, and they're all going to be making plays at the multiverse. So you're going to have the TVA, you're going to have Sylvie, perhaps at the Citadel at the end of time, you're going to have Loki, you're going to have the Council of Kangs, and perhaps even another group of heroes or villains, maybe the people from 838, maybe the Illuminati from Marvel's 616 universe. Because of course, Doctor Strange is now in the dark dimension, preventing incursions and also completely aware of everything going on with the multiverse. And another really crazy thing that could be going on here is the actual changing of time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, we've already gone through a scenario in which you recontextualize all of the Infinity Saga as more or less a script that He Who Remains had playing out. But now that that's over and you have the Council of Kangs seemingly making universes all kind of weave together without causing incursions, or at least without trying to cause incursion. And you add into that all of these Kangs may have a battery that's able to make them like just actually change time within the specific timelines. You could get into some really weird stuff in these next Marvel movies. Like, we could potentially start seeing things change in the Marvel Cinematic Universe seemingly without explanation, and then we will realize that time itself is being affected. Maybe that's what the Victor Timely variant is trying to do. Maybe you'll see the Centurion pop up and try to do something crazy. Maybe Rama-Tut will go back and actually change something in the MCU. I guess the balance from Marvel Studios' perspective is, how do you do this to have a lot of fun and do some really wild things while also not leaving behind normies or casual audience members? Because time travel can be really freaking confusing, and anytime an audience gets confused, they tend to check out. But I think that's what the ending and the post-credit scenes are setting up. Essentially a scenario for the Marvel Cinematic Universe where the past can change, things can happen, and where there are various people that are operating from places outside of space and time that are all battling for the future of the multiverse. And again, I do believe that they have this guy, Kang the Conqueror, that we just met, kind of being pushed off to the sidelines in the Beyondverse, where he will attain like godlike power, and then they will bring him back after all of his other variants do screw up the multiverse to the point where incursions are happening nonstop and the entire thing is collapsing. So, of course, let me know what you think about the ending and the post-credit scenes, and are you excited for the next few years of the multiversal saga within the MCU? Smash a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to this channel and the live streaming channel, because we give away dope nerdy things to lucky subscribers each and every month. If you want to watch more, why not check out my reaction/review to Quantumania, which I actually did not enjoy as a film.